Hey everyone, Opaque Flake here, welcoming you to the year of Final Fantasy with the 5Fs Final fucking Fantasy 5 finale! So with that said and done, before I go into the circle here, let's show off the characters. Because why not, right? Magic Sword, X-Fight, Equip, Blades, or Swords I guess, Excalibur, Ragnarok, I don't say anything. And I made Kara a normal character I suppose, because I have Monk Mastered, Dancer Mastered, and Mimic. So I gave her Mimic and Combine. Okay, just making sure. Berlena, Nothing Mastered. She is a master of none, but she can mimic it all. Magician. Paris, Magic, Dimension, X-Fight. Equipment. Wizard Aegis, Gold Pin, White Angel. And I think I'm gonna give you a Gold Pin. Should do that, so I can abuse the Quick. So let's do this. Let's save the merged worlds from the void. See how much impact that had because they were dead? I mean, it would have been more of an impact if they meant something other than Galef and King Tycoon, but hey, it made an impact nonetheless, right? So here we are, the final fight with X-Death. This whole sprite though, holy shit, it's weird. I always thought it was weird until I realized, oh, X-Death is on that piece of lumber. I don't know how to put it, because X-Death is basically a tree, but there is a dark spirit within that tree. So there's that, right? Oh, by the way, I learned something. When I was trying to figure out why I couldn't do, how you say, all life and all that stuff, or why my life spells didn't work aside having the bone mail, you can actually cast all armor on yourself with this little nifty glitch. I want to use Cure 3, but I use Cure 2, so whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if anyone dies. But look at that sprite on X-Dev, it's fucking beautiful. Look how far up we are. So I can cast all life too if I do that, but I have to keep it singular for now, so... This should cast all life 2 and all cure 3. Or not. By the way, Giant Drink doubles your health. So if you're curious on why I'm doing that, there you go. I don't know if you can do it more than once, but I'm only gonna do it once. So here's a true boss battle, and I'm surprised I beat his first form so quick, but hey, that's what X-Fight does. Now I gotta reset up with Ferris, holy shit. I mean, I don't have to, but I'm gonna. This whole sprite is wonky though, man, it's just out of nowhere, but we're gonna be seeing something like this again eventually. So this dude has 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 bodies on him? I can't tell you because I have nothing to select with. But essentially you want to fucking blow this guy up with all magic. And he looks pretty pissed off. Speaking of which, Neo X-Death, which means New X-Death, This one wants to turn everything in, well, not turn, but I guess return or have everything become within the void. So there is nothing. Yeah, fuck it, keep going. And I realize X-Step is not a ooOooOO, isn't he? Which I find a little crazy. Just a little. 3 bodies, okay. Let's go with the back. I always thought X-Step was the spirit of an ooOooOO that came back into a tree from that forest or mirage, I guess, that tried to, well, get back. How much damage are you doing? Not too much. Not too much, not too much. Let's see how much Leviathan does. Did I just cast 3 spells? Or did I cancel one? I guess I canceled one. Yeah, I think I'm better off with Bahamut. I thought since I had the Elemental Rod, I'd do a little bit more. But he has 4 bodies. Seriously though, if you knew more about Kelgar, Zeza, and Dorgan, you kind of knew some stuff about King Tycoon and Gallop. Well, mostly Gallop, obviously. That whole them coming back to life thing to stop them from being eaten by the void would have meant a lot more. But hey, not much you can do. This game did have some story though, I'm actually surprised with that. But more about that later on. Wrong one. Thought I did an X potion. It's actually potion and either. I can fix it. I want to see how much damage Sedra's gonna do. If not, then I really will stick to Bahamut. I healed him. Why? Oh, right, because of the bug. The bug. Hey, Sedra does more damage, and it's cheaper. Think I have time to do X potion. Yeah, I got time. I gave Kara the flare ring or fire ring because I think flare is kind of counted as fire here. It would be weird because, well, I mean, it's usually non-elemental, but hey, might be fire here. And Grandu Crossa did nothing to us except make Elena go berserk. Okay. Well, I have Kara wearing a ribbon for that kind of comeuppings, I guess. Trying to remember how to make a remedy. I think it was a revivifying elixir. I mean, I could just kill her. Innate 2 counter. Or was it a revivifying antidote? I don't know, let's find out. Let's experiment on Lena. Been a while since I made a remedy. I'm only doing this because in hopes that Lena might want to use Mimic, but then again, it's straight up attacking, so what am I thinking of? Let's see, it was probably this. No, I don't think that was at it. Yeah, that's not it. Usually when you make something with elixir, it's just gonna be an elixir. Let's keep doing it. I'm doing fine. Surprisingly, Neo X that doesn't do that much damage. That's another body down. Am I using a cheap team? I always thought using a cheap team was using your bare basic ones with mastery. I'm just curious. Let's see. I really want to use Lena. It could be this. Is that it? Panacea? Hey, got it! And somehow Butts can use Magic Sword again. I guess he was silenced? I don't know. I think one of the best strategies here is just to have everyone become a Mimic and just spam Bahamut. But, trying my best not to do that. Why do you still attack the blind bodies, though? Leave my buffs alone. I'm more worried about my buffs than, well, everyone else because I'm worried about them. That's the last body. That's gonna be overkill. Let's go with Holy. I bless you, my son, with 2 holies. Focus on the crouch. Focus on the crouch. Then we'll be good. I'm still looking at the sprite the whole damn fight, though. It's like... this whole damn sprite is fascinating, though. that's it. Final Fantasy V. After playing 3, I was looking forward to this game. You know, to weigh the differences between 3 and 5 job system games. 5 totally fixed and changed a lot that 3 had, but it still kept its core aspect of we have jobs, play with them. Of course, it did have some inspirations from 4, but not so much that I would say they're related in a sense. Of course, Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 5 are completely different. So this whole game, I did struggle to not try to be overpowered as much as I could. It was really hard. I could have just gone, everyone become samurai, throw Gil, we're good. I mean, that's straight up the easiest way, but like, oh no, you shouldn't do that if you don't want to make it so easy. Just play with the other games. And why are the flowers red? Graphical error in the translation or cartridge. Anyways, it's kind of weird because there are arguments like, man, this game is so easy because I just went samurai and I threw guilt. And then some other people are like, well, why are you doing that? You're ruining the spoil of the game. Well, guilt toss works just as well. Or just spamming Bahamut. Or spamming summons for most of the game. And I hate that argument. It's stupid. Let someone play the way they want to play. If they want to be overpowered, let them grind their job points and they're good. Good to go. You don't have to worry about the whole game. And then it goes back to me saying I don't want to make myself overpowered. Although I kind of feel like I didn't do that well towards the very end because I already knew what I was going to make. Honestly believe this game would be a bit more harder towards the end. And it actually got a little bit easier. That's why I was kind of playing around with S-shot and two-handed and whatnot. But let's talk about this whole game in whole. This game had a story. I honestly believe it did not have a story, but it had 10 times as much a story, maybe 20 times as much as Final Fantasy 3 did. And I really do think that has to do with how Sakaguchi wrote Final Fantasy 4. Granted, well, I don't think he wrote it, but I know he directed it. I don't know how the whole writing process worked. I am a little bit skeptical or shady on the details on that. But essentially is, they still kept it true to the 4 crystal thing. And they incorporated the Void again from Final Fantasy 3. Final Fantasy 5 is kind of almost a rewrite of 3, but I wouldn't really consider that an ideal concrete statement to dissuade people who love 3 and everything. Because to be honest, 5 has a lot of... It's very different than all the other Final Fantasy games thus far. There is comedic moments. It's actually one of the most lighthearted Final Fantasy games, even though the game can get really serious. My only main problem here is that it's not balanced that well. But at the same time, it's not, okay, where it excels great. Where it falls enough to say, damn, you fell. Let's laugh at you. Because I think the whole Galif thing, for those who are not in the know and did not listen to some parts, the whole Galif scenario when he dies and the way it leads up to it, it's wonky. I love the way he died, but I felt like if he were more developed towards to be more... You know what? I take that all back. He was a fine as a character. Straight up fine. I just think that this game is very loosely put together in terms of how the characters are portrayed. That it kind of takes away and doesn't give you much to be concerned about. There is weight in this when it comes to X-Step. Very much so. He is a threat. And he does taunt the heroes for most part. He also kills Galif. And then you have some scenarios with Ferris being a female. And then you got Galif being forgotten when you go into the ancient maze. Or not the maze, but the ship. And then you got Gilgamesh, who is essentially Final Fantasy's Deadpool. I already explained that the Gilgamesh is canonical towards every other Final Fantasy game. That's the same Gilgamesh that was banished for the X Zone and all that fun stuff. But the true heart, meat, and soul of Final Fantasy V is the job system. For me, it's personally the difficulty that this game can provide. It's not as hard as 3, but there are some, I guess, spikes. They're not really big spikes though, it's based on how you've been leveling. I knew what I was doing, and since I'm familiar with Final Fantasy, I know what I might need or what I need to carry, especially with blue magic. The blue magic did help. But a perfect example would be Siren. Siren was the second boss, third boss technically, but in the whole game, you're just playing, you got your jobs, you beat the damn... I fucking hated that fucking crap for hurting Sildra. I got emotionally attached to those enemies, but anyway, Siren, very powerful, hits really hard, zombie mode. The game has a lot of, not gimmick bosses, but all the bosses, for the most part, are unique. There are some tank and spank where it's just, I have a lot of health, I can kill you quick if you don't kill me quick. Like the Soul Cannon. But there are some bosses that are like, oh shit, I need to change my team around just a little bit. Or if not, overhaul it. I knew what I was taking with me, but essentially that's what did help me get through. Really do love the music track for this game though. Bass, horns, drums, this whole soundtrack has it all. I really, really love Nobuo working with the bass lines here. It's amazing. Some of it kind of carries on to 6, but that's another story for another day. But in whole, Final Fantasy V does give you a lot of freedom to play the game how you want. You want magic? Go for it. You want attackers? Go for it. You want to be cheap? Go for it. But the job system mechanic here, in this game in particular, can encourage you to abuse grinding on weaker enemies or on jobs in general. Even if it's your first playthrough or your first Final Fantasy, this game does allow or give you the tools to break the game very easily, much so. And I'm not sure if that was an intention, but there is flexibility here, and that's what makes Final Fantasy great. Here are your tools, here's the story, have fun. And very much so with Final Fantasy V, the second job system Final Fantasy game. You are given the freedom to play the game however you like, at whatever pace you like. And once more, it's that very same mechanic that allows you to shape the game how you want to play it on your very own way. Final Fantasy V is one of the games you can introduce anyone to the world of Final Fantasy, because it'll get them acquainted with the classes, the spells, the items, the hints, tips, and tricks, and the workarounds for almost any other Final Fantasy game from there on out. So with that said and done, thanks for watching this whole Let's Play. Pretty big, pretty long, I'm surprised myself. So thank you again. This is Opaque Flake, signing out for the year of Final Fantasy with Final Fantasy V. Okay, thanks, bye.